1460 WVOX.
Stay tuned now for the Racing for Heroes radio show with host Brett Morash on 1460 WVOX.
Hey there in Racing for Heroes land. It's Brett Morash. We're here at WVOX 1460 on your AM dial, streaming worldwide on WVOX.com. Have an exciting show today, but I did have to share one little piece. On my way to the studio today, there was a 2010 Dodge Challenger driving near me, and it had like all this brown rust-colored primer on it, but it had this huge wing on it, and it looked like a modern version of Joe Dirt's Superbird. So anyway, for anyone who's seen Joe Dirt, it was just like super crazy, and I had to share it with everyone. I almost crashed my car staring at this thing. But anyway, and I wish I'd taken a picture, but I did not. Anyway, so we have with us right now Don Kirsh, who's Don Devito, who's the CEO of Kirsh Helmets, which is here in New York State, and has some revolutionary technology. And we're going to be bringing him on the show here. He is an Army veteran and just a great human being, and we're super glad to have him as one of our partners. So, Don, you on the line?
I'm here.
How are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, listen, I'm
looking at all the beautiful flowers out here getting rained on.
We haven't got the rain yet up down here, but it is like super blowing, and my car, which is normally blue, is now sort of a bluish green tinge with all the oak tree pollen that's out here.
It's part of the season.
Yeah, my wife's been complaining that I've been snoring, so I think I need to start taking some more allergy medicine.
Well, wear your mask and you'll be fine.
That's right. That's right. That's like the one upside of all of this. So, Don, thanks for coming back on the show. I know we talked to you earlier in the year, but we're right now getting ready to get into riding season.
Yes, very exciting.
Now, do you have a bike yourself, or?
No, I rode off-road when I was younger, and then went into the military and got away from it, never went back. But when I met Jason, who's a rider, then all came back to light. I don't play hockey either, but I hope we're going to someday sell a hockey helmet.
Well, and I think that just jumps right into the technology piece here.
Sure.
Let's talk about like what's so different about the suspension system, or lack thereof, if you will, in a Kirsh helmet.
Well, everything. It's a dramatic technology breakthrough. Everything focuses on our fluid displacement liner, which is, there's no other technology like this found in the market. We replace compression foam with fluid displacement technology, and we feel that's the most effective way to reduce head injury, from traumatic brain injury to concussion risk, paralysis, and even death, and all motor vehicle accidents, and all the way to sports and athletics.
Yeah, and I had a chance to see that, because even looking at the way it's designed, I mean, you can see like an expansion into, like you said, hockey helmets. But I know when we were down in Fayetteville with the guys from the 82nd Airborne and the Special Forces guys, they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you making this in a military helmet, selling the liner inside of the Navy? I'm sorry, Army Exchange. Sorry, you got to take the boy out of the Navy." But...
Sure. Well, we'd like to someday. We do think that there's a link between traumatic brain injury and the long-term effects of PTSD that isn't fully understood, and we do think one of the root causes is the combat helmet itself, and we hope that our technology someday can be researched, and we think there's evidence that it could work very well to reduce head injury and repetitive motion injury that occurs for warfighters.
Yeah, and I think that is an amazing breakthrough. And because are you looking into like helmets like for like football as well, or?
Well, no, not. We have looked at football, but it's a very small market. We think about this as deploying a great technology, but also we, as a business, need to find the right business aspects. So there's got to be a value proposition for us as well. And we're facing a wide range of global competition for anything that we do. So we need to make sure that it's a good business as well. So we found that safety, where you have the market focused on construction helmets and other kinds of helmets for safety, we think that's a very interesting area. Certainly, we want to dive deeper into motorcycles, where we can go beyond the half helmet and make the full face and modular motocross, snowcross type helmets. And eventually, I think we'll find our way, of course, back into sports and athletics. But I think the bigger markets and where we'll probably focus first will be in areas like bicycles, other things like hockey, where they do have a same problem that football does with traumatic, with CTE, with traumatic encephalopathy. It's definitely a problem there just as much, and there's many more players on the planet in hockey than there are football.
Yeah, well, my father-in-law worked for RL Sports for like 20 years doing, selling helmets. So I know a little bit about some of the check technology and challenges that they've had. But one of the things I thought that was interesting is I saw that video that's on your YouTube channel the other day, where you have like this celebrity basically talking about the helmet. And I think one of the things that really resonated with me was that the helmet really form fits around your head. And that's why, when you think it might be heavy compared to like a comparable helmet, it's giving you that huge safety margin, as well as it's actually more comfortable when you're wearing it.
That's true. It's something that we experience every day when we talk to people about the helmet. The helmet does weigh more than most half helmets, but certainly it's within the average weight of other helmets. But when somebody picks it up, they're not used to a helmet that has all of that content. It's really a solid, well-built helmet. And that's something that is important. And it does offer improved performance and comfort. The fluid is definitely heavier than foam,
sure,
but the fluid offers a more relaxed fit to the helmet. It offers better performance in a number of different ways. But that's something that we like. And when riders do take the helmet for a ride, they love it, and that's what keeps them coming back and makes them customers in the end.
Right, and listen, at the end of the day, it's about safety and protection. And I remember someone telling me that it's not a question of when you're going to put your bike down. I'm sorry, that are you going to put it down, or when, but more of when you're going to put it down. Because everyone eventually will have some sort of challenge.
It's true. It's true. I talk to people almost every day about helmets, and a lot of times we'll get a convert, somebody who has never worn a helmet, and because they're in a helmet state, it's not required. But then they wear our helmet and they feel that they feel safer wearing our helmet than not wearing a helmet. And that's all a backlash of over many years, the last 50, 60 years, helmets not being made that work as well as they could. And that's been really the sad part of this story, is that they continue to make helmets that are either too small and unsafe or too big and bulky.
Yeah.
And that creates its own problems. And so riders prefer sometimes not to wear a helmet. And we do agree that, it's a choice for the individual. And if you choose not to wear a helmet, that's fine for you. But when you do want to wear a helmet, we'd like you to make the choice to wear our helmet, because we do think it's the better helmet.
Right. And of course, I would like everyone out there to make a choice of wearing the Racing for Heroes version of it, which I think will be coming out here shortly.
Yeah, well, it's going to be available soon. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to send some information out to your members, membership and your followers here shortly. That's going to give them an opportunity to take a look at the helmet, and then go to our website and your website and be able to see exactly what the helmet's about and see what the story is. And the great part of our alliance and your organization being affiliate is that we support your mission. So every time somebody buys a helmet through us, through you, we make a contribution back to your mission and to your organization, which does such great work.
Yeah, no, and I'm always in awe, though, of like, we are such an aligned organization, because you actually have a really large number of veterans at work making these helmets.
Yes, we won an award. Actually, you called me. That's how we first met, because we were given the Department of Labor gold medallion for hiring vets and under their Hire Vet program. And we were one of 20 companies in New York State, and just one of 500 companies across the United States that were given this award for hiring veterans, sustaining a veteran workforce, and for also maintaining that workforce over years. So it's something we're very proud to do. And final assembly is done by veterans and Americans with disability. It's a big part of who we are.
Yeah, that's great.
And we feel it gives everyone purpose, and we all can do something together that's greater than ourselves, that gives back to the country.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, between, like you said, the veteran community, which obviously, for you and me are our people, but the disabled community as well out there, where you're giving people that job opportunity where they really are fulfilling, and having a living wage and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, yes, and I get great pleasure in that. It's something that's really important to me. When I came off active duty, I needed a job, and I was hired by somebody. He was actually a former Army major in his life, and he had retired, and he valued me being a veteran and having had service, and the discipline I learned in that, my commitment and duty and work effort. That was something that he felt really strongly about, and that's what gave me a job early in my career. And really, I have had a great life because of his decision.
Roger that. And what's next on the horizon though for Kirsh in the next couple of weeks? Anything exciting coming up?
Well, we have so much coming up. We have pretty soon. We have Joel Benger, one of our independent agents. He's a member of Fourth Watch up in New Jersey, New York,
and we had him on the other day. So.
Yes, and as your listeners may recall, he's doing a ride across America, which we feel is just a great event, and supporting what he's doing is something that's been very important to us. So that's a big thing that's happening. We're actually going to make some real big announcement about Sturgis this year. We will be at Sturgis, and many of your listeners may already know that we're the official helmet of the City of Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. But we have another announcement that I can't make just yet, but when people hear it, they're going to really be pleased. And I hope will look us up when they get to Sturgis this year.
Well, being the helmet of Sturgis, I think, is an amazing thing anyway that anyone would be impressed with.
Yeah, it's they've never endorsed a helmet in the 80 years of the show, of the rally, and it's the largest rally on the planet of its type. So we're honored to have been selected by them, and for them to trust their brand with us and give us the opportunity to tell our story to so many people that are just like us that want to ride.
That's amazing. How many people go to Sturgis now? I mean, I remember it's like a tremendous number of folks, right?
It was different a little bit last year. They had a successful season despite COVID, but they had to put a lot of things in place to be able to protect the riders and also the residents, and that's important. The rallies have been very big in the past, and I think this year, with it being a rebound year in effect, as people come back and can travel more, and you're able to move more easily around the country with everybody getting vaccinated, we're going to see a lot more activity there. So we're hopeful that for them and for us that it's going to be a great year. They can have several 100,000, 500,000 people at this ride, and it lasts for about 10 days out there in South Dakota. And it's one of the things that's on the bucket list for any rider. If you're a rider, this is where you want to go at least once in your life. Save up and go there. It's just a great time.
That's amazing.
Great event, and there's great organizations there that you can connect with that are all part of the riding community across this country.
Roger. And I'm just getting ready to bring on our next guest, but Don, besides also going to Racing for Heroes website to go to Kirsh Helmets, what's your website so people can log in and check it out?
It's KirshHelmets.com. That's KIRSH helmets.com. Go there. You can check out our YouTube videos. You can look at people that have given us testimonials, other riders who, like you or anybody that's interested in our story, can go and read about it and see the kind of great work that we're doing and what we want to have to come.
Awesome. Well, Don, as always, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a partner of Racing for Heroes, and we're looking forward to the future.
Brett, you're a great brother and friend, and I appreciate what you do for everybody, and keep going.
Roger that, sir. All right, and with that, we're going to bring on our next guest. We get a little theme song, though, queued up, so... All right, well, Chad is on the line. He is the co-owner of the Off-Road Revolution, and that was, of course, the Beatles Revolution song. So I thought I'd put that out there for Chad.
Yeah, Brett, how are we doing today? Thanks for that lead in, man. That was beautiful. I like that a lot.
Listen, the Beatles opened for you, man. Like, that's about the way I look at it.
I kind of feel the same way, man. They made that song just for us, just for this cause. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for everybody that put all that hard work in at the Beatles.
Well, they've been waiting for a long time for you guys. So anyway, and I know about the Off-Road Revolution because you were all down at Virginia International Raceway. Before I go into that, can you just tell us about what the Off-Road Revolution is about?
Yeah, man. So, we're just a group of enthusiasts, really. We like to go off-roading with our trucks, and, we're not your typical group of guys that just like to go slow and crawl through trails over rocks in the mud. We like to run our trucks really, really fast, and we build them to perform. So that's just, in a nutshell, that's us. We are a community of enthusiasts, and, on the East Coast, our off-road community isn't as big as it is on the West Coast.
Sure.
There's a lot of people who live in the West Coast that are now located over here that still want to have that lifestyle, and we're trying to, help provide that. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Well, one of my favorite TV shows, which is now off the air for some crazy reason, was Truck Night in America. And when I think about what you guys do, it's sort of like what they did, which is like they're driving those trucks like hard and fast over all sorts of different terrain. And, it's just an amazing experience.
Yeah, you brought that show up, and I used to love watching Pistol Pete and everybody on there, and now it's been cut short, unfortunately. Yeah. I would love to revisit that style of programming and actually do something like that. Maybe we can talk to the people at VIR to help us, bring that to life.
Well, I think that's an awesome idea, and I'll have to talk to Mike Evok about that a little later. But there's a hole there that people want. And it's just such an amazing opportunity. But I did love that show.
Yeah, it was amazing. What's a little bit different about that show than what we do is that we have people with already pre-built trucks. Most of the trucks that are running with us are brand new. There are a few people that do attend that have built the trucks that are a little bit older, past
Sure.
2010, that perform and can actually put up with the abuse that we put them through.
Yeah.
So, they're welcomed out here. So, the style of truck that we really appeal to is, the Ford Raptor. Out of the box, that truck performs very, very well. The suspension, the engine, just the drivetrain, it's built for abuse. And the style of tracks that we run are very similar to rally style tracks, just with a little bit bigger jump. So if you have a vehicle that's similar to that, Ram just put out their new TRX, and we had a couple of those guys out with us, and they really performed. They really showed up, and I was, keeping my fingers crossed that a lot of the word on the internet about these trucks being put together cheap was inaccurate, and I think we proved that wrong. Those trucks came out, they threw down right with the best of us.
That's amazing.
And they're able to drive home unflawed. So yeah, that's the type of truck that we kind of appeal to. Let's see who else. Chevy put out the Chevy Reaper back in 2018.
Okay.
But we haven't seen any of those out on the track yet. Huh. I'd like to see how those perform.
All right. Well, I don't know if you were listening to the very beginning of the show, but I was talking about I was making fun of a Mopar product the other day. I saw a Dodge Challenger on the way in that was like just covered in like this rust-colored primer. It had like a huge wing, like Joe Dirt's Plymouth Superbird. But what's like the craziest truck that you've seen, or I guess the worst truck that you've seen out on the track that's actually done okay?
Yeah, we got this guy by the name of Zach. He spells his name really unique with an X and everything. The kid's cool. He's a know-it-all kind of, jack of all trades.
With a name like Zach with an X, like I think you have to be a know-it-all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a total millennial. But anyways, wonderful kid. He's got stuff together. The only thing he doesn't have is a garage to work in. But anyways, he put together this Ford Ranger. He went and bought it from the junkyard, got all kinds of junkyard parts, and I think it was more of just a challenge. I don't think it was, the full budget that pushed his decision.
Yeah.
But it was more of a challenge for him. So he's got this thing. He's got this little Ranger that's got all kinds of different body panels on it. It's got roll cage. He's got a link suspension in the rear, and he's got really good suspension up front, 2.5s up front. And it was lacking on the engine side of it, but he's actually in the works of turbocharging his system right now as we speak.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, that was the biggest Joe Dirt vehicle that we've seen on the track, and it was really cool. Everybody loved watching it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, and that leads me to the next part. Like, this is not just located at VIR. You're all over the country, right?
So yeah, we're in the Southeast right now, based in the Southeast. Me and the co-owner, my co-owner Steve, he lives in Tennessee, and I live in Western North Carolina. We're only about an hour apart, and we're located, right here in the Southeast. So right now, we have venues that we are running, in Virginia at VIR, and then we're running in Alabama to Florida run. That's called the Reach to the Beach.
Wow,
we got
fun.
a place in Union Point, Georgia, called Durham Town. It's a really cool off-road park out there that we run at. And then we have a couple more in the works. We have another one in Tennessee called Tazewell, and that's going to be more of a rally style, very similar to VIR. And we have a couple other folks that have reached out to us in this general vicinity, really close to the Charlotte area. It seems like North Carolina is kind of turning into like our capital of what's going to be going on, because we got a lot of people that attend these events. People that come all the way down from New York, New Jersey, all the way out from Texas, from California,
Oh, wow.
New Mexico. We got a lot of people coming out this way. And when I was talking about the community in the beginning, that's what brings them. Because, out west, there's a ton of stuff to ride. But they see us on Facebook posting up all of our tracks and everything. It's becoming, it's turning into a real appeal for a lot of people, especially Raptor owners and now TRX owners. So they're coming out, they're getting involved with our community, and it's like, it's like a big group of friends that's really turning into family.
No, that's fun. That's fun. And I think that's one of the nice things that what you're doing is it's sort of like me talking about the veteran community, where we all kind of stick together, and, it's really, you're just more comfortable with your fellow veteran just because of the shared experience. And that's actually a big piece of what you do, right? Like you said, it's a community kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we ran into Mike Evok a couple of years ago. We were introduced through common friends, and we're always every year searching for some type of different, fund or something to donate to some type of worthy cause. And we found out what all Mike was doing, and hands down, it's like, you know what, we can see our money go to work right there. Everything that we're donating is actually influencing people that are right in front of us. I don't know what's better than helping out your neighbor right like that. So what Mike Evok does for Racing for Heroes is just nothing outside of amazing, or nothing less than amazing. That's what I meant to say there. And we love being a part of it, and we want to do more with it. Right now, just running only 2 events a year and donating 2 times a year, it's not enough for us. So we're trying to work with Mike, and we're trying to brainstorm different ideas of what we can do to turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, listen, Mike is the best board chairman you could ask for. I'm saying as the executive director, obviously. But, what you guys have done is great. I think this past weekend at your event, you raised $14,000 for us. And it was just, that is going to make an impact. That is money that we're going to use to help veterans, get over the unseen and seen injuries of war.
Yeah, not only that, but he's got people on staff right there that are helping fix vehicles, build vehicles, riding vehicles. And, he puts everybody to work right there and gets everybody busy and involved with what's going on. It's really beautiful what he's doing. And I'd like to have a bigger hand in that. I'd like to have more smaller events that are just based around the veteran community, out of our original events as well. So yeah, we're talking with Mike. We're trying to figure out what we can do and how often we can do it, and we're on board 100%.
Well, that's great. And to that end, we actually have a couple events coming up this coming weekend where we'll be using the off-road track as well as the shooting range. Our Gunning with Green Berets, an open house event. So hopefully we'll have a chance to see you there if you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that would be great. We would love to tag along on that and, be a part of that for sure.
Well, bring your kids because I know you have two little ones, and mine are much bigger than they used to be. Now they're teenagers for real. So I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I got a 2-year-old and 4-year-old. My 4-year-old, he's getting really inquisitive about guns and everything. So it's time. It's time to have the talk and take him out to the range and start introducing him how to be safe.
Yeah, no, and you got to start early with that stuff. But listen, Chad, I got to let you go because we're getting to the end of the show here. But I want to thank you again for being on, and thank you what TOR does, and you and Steve. You guys are just fantastic.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for having me on, and check us out on Facebook, the Off-Road Revolution. TORR is our acronym, and then you can find us on the web also at www.torrun.com.
Awesome. All right, thank you again, Chad. All right, there, Racing for Heroes fans, we are at the end of our show, but before we listen to the real Doug Lane, I just got to put a plug out this coming weekend, the 8th and 9th. We're going to be having Gunning with Green Berets on Saturday, and then our open house on Sunday, which is Mother's Day, of course, as well. So if you're not at Racing for Heroes for Mother's Day, then you should be bringing your mother out and doing something awesome for them, because they are what is keeping us going. So anyway, with that, we're going to go right to the real Doug Lane. So thanks, everyone. See you next week.
It's just one way, it's just a little farther down the road.